I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Cassius Conrad is here. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cassius Conrad. I'm a Hawaiian shirt-wearing half-dragon PNG tuber. I stream on Twitch usually 3 to 4 times a week, depending on life stuff. And yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. When did you get started with VTubing?
So my first stream was, I actually remember off the top of my head because I've been looking into planning anniversary things. It was the 22nd of November, 2024.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's you remember it better than my wife and I remember our anniversary. This last time we happened to be at a funeral when we remembered it. Unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, we looked at it said, "What day is today?" Oh, happy anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah, well, some people have golden anniversaries. We have funeral anniversaries. That's what we end up with. The traditions are very different than they used to be.
Yeah, clearly.
Yes.
At least you had something extra to celebrate at the wake.
Yeah, kind of, I guess. I mean, if you call that celebration.
Yeah. Oh, it's meant to be about celebrating the life rather than.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. It was something else. But for you, why did you get started? What did you watch videos, VTubers, and decide that you were going to give it a shot, or how did it come around?
So basically, some friends of mine who had already streamed for quite a long time before I started said I should. And so I looked into it and thought, yeah, it looks pretty fun. Why not give it a shot? And yeah, then I started.
They kind of recruited you in.
Apparently so, yeah.
Well, had you sat in on their streams before or something along those lines?
A couple of times, yeah. So one of them, my first experience streaming was a few years ago now. A friend went over to my friend's place and we had this was back when he was a face cam streamer, so everyone was on camera. We had a Smash Bros Ultimate stream. And we just had a load of fun, had some drinks, chatted crap with chat. It was a lot of fun.
And then are you saying then after that you had to hide your face?
Exactly, yes.
But what brought you from there to the VTuber thing, really?
So a couple of reasons. Honestly, the main one is more protection of other people around me rather than myself. So I live very close to my older brother, and he has 2 young children that I often get unexpected visits from. So, and they have come into the room while I've been streaming before. So I don't want them. I don't want to be the one responsible for them being shown off to the internet and thousands of people that they don't know, basically. It's kind of the main reason I went for the VTubing thing.
Well, that's you're the first person to say that, I believe. But it's such a down to earth reason. It wasn't because I wanted to do this. It's no, because kids come over. I want to show them off. That's pretty neat. That's pretty well thinking of you to do something like that. But since you did adopt with the PNG, how has that gone for you? Has it been easy for you to step in and keep relating to audiences and keep going as yourself?
Overall, yeah. I mean, like the PNG is very much just a representation of myself actually on stream still. Like the reference that my artist used for doing it was just a picture of me. So
This
I'm very much just being myself on stream, and that makes it a lot easier, just with extra dragon wings.
yeah. Well, I was going to ask about whether those are extra or not, but okay, that's this is interesting. I wonder how if we're going to get more people who do that in the future, where it's not going to be as many, um, characters and so many fanciful type of things, and they're more just artist representations of themselves on
Mm.
they're just so they're not there in front of people, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see.
Yeah, you could be a trailblazer with this. You didn't even know it.
If that's my contribution to the community, I'll take it, sure.
Well, was it when you finally got your own microphone and set up and got going? Did you settle into it pretty quick, or did it take a little while for you to get comfortable?
Um, so it I think it was pretty quickly I sort of got used to it. Like my first stream, I will never look back on. I was kind of building it up in my head as sort of it would be, oh, big exciting debut. I'll talk about loads of things. I will get into the game. It'll be loads of fun. I then stared at the screen in silence for about 10 minutes before I just started the game and got going.
Well, sometimes it all just if you don't have it right in front of you, or don't have it like pre-done or anything like this, it just kind of fades away as soon as soon as you're confronted
Yeah,
with the microphone.
absolutely.
And
And
yeah,
yeah, and I was definitely quite nervous about the whole thing. But as I said, once I actually got into the game and started playing, and people started coming into chat to see that, I was able to get a lot more comfortable. I think with having the game going as sort of focusing on it, but also as kind of a distraction was very helpful.
Well, did you at least get back to the topics that you wanted to talk about while you're in the game with Chad?
Yeah, kind of. Like
Mm,
it's been a while, so I don't really remember honestly, and I
yeah.
didn't save the VOD, so I can't even look back on it even if I wanted to. So
We're going to find somebody who has a copy of it and send it to you. Look what I found on the
maybe.
on the internet. Um, so it was an interest. I'll say an interesting beginning,
Hmm.
but one that you were able to find a way to continue and keep going, and overall pretty successful.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. And then you found your groove and got going. Is it better for you now when you don't have the game going and it's just you and an audience, or would you rather go ahead and start with the game and jump in that way still?
I've gotten better at starting just and having a bit of time to just chat to the audience
Mm,
before start going straight into the game now. Yes, definitely.
yeah. Were you somebody who wanted to be up on stage when you were younger, or uh, did you kind of find out later on that would be your thing?
I've kind of always been a bit of a performer. Like as a kid, I was in an amateur drama group thing that would put on a couple of plays a year, and I used to play musical instruments as well, and played in like school events a couple of times. So
Mm,
it's always something I've kind of been comfortable with.
yeah. What musical instruments? More than one?
So as a very young child, I played a bit of the recorder. I'm sure many people can relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's basically the school instrument, I
Oh yeah.
think, at least in the UK.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It is here too. When you started, we called it a flutophone here.
Ah,
Yeah, so it sounded
I've
really
never
cool.
heard that before.
Yeah, it sounded really
Hmm.
cool at the time, but it was a recorder,
Yeah.
and we were hoping nobody was recording it at the time when we were playing it, and especially
Hmm.
practicing it, driving the parents insane. Um, and so you actually had gotten out on stage a couple of times, and whether it's with a group or stuff, uh, so did that contribute into you settling down, or was that all out the window when you turned the microphone for yourself?
I think having that experience did kind of help a bit. Like
Mm,
I think It's sort of an easy thing to kind of build up in your head of, oh, how many people are going to watch me? Am I going to be able to entertain them? What am I going to do if everything goes wrong? But once you just need to take some time to settle into it, and that makes it eventually just kind of works itself out, I found.
Yeah. And sometimes you go in there and you need things to go a little wrong, and that's when you discover your ability to be agile enough to adjust to what's happening, and that kind of throws you into a more comfort level sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen every failure as something to learn from and improve on next time.
I've seen every failure as, yep, there it is again. Yeah, knew that one was coming. Should have prepared for that one. But the one of the biggest things about being on live is you don't is every time you go on, usually something you don't prepare for is going to happen anyway. Um, and you're going to have to be uh, able to recover from it, or make it into something, or joke about it and joke around it. Have you found that pretty easy for yourself?
For the most part, yeah. Having to deal with that kind of stuff on the fly is sort of new to me, but also sort of not. It's like rehearsed even back in the little amateur drama group thing I was in. There would occasionally be things that went wrong, and so I would need to improvise a solution
Yeah.
on stage in front of people. So it was just kind of, I guess I kind of already had the skills back in the back of my mind to sort of deal with things like that, and so it's just kind of bringing them back out to the front of the mind.
Well, if I had done something like that as a kid, it would have been every single night I was on stage. It would usually be followed by me running off stage as fast as I could. Me and live audiences did not get along well, and even later on, when I was doing the radio thing for 35 years, I still didn't like it out in front of audiences. Just not seeing them makes a big difference. Does that work for you too, where you don't see the eyes of everybody back there? It makes you a little more comfortable.
It's a very different thing,
Mm.
but I wouldn't say it's better or worse, honestly. Like
Mm.
being able, having people to, having people, an actual audience in front of you, it's a lot easier to see and gauge reactions, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, what can I do? I was very much kind of, I liked to make people laugh, and
Mm.
so I wanted to put spins on lines and improvise things that would get a laugh out of people. And so being able to see feedback from the audience immediately like that was interesting.
Yeah.
But also not having the audience visible in front of you has its own benefits of sort of, I guess, you don't have to see the negative reactions.
Yeah.
Like, they can chat them, sure, but you don't get immediate feedback of it, which is sort of its own comfort as well.
Yeah. They don't get to see what beverage you're sipping on between lines.
Exactly.
That type of thing. It does give some people a little extra comfort to do that sort of thing. But I don't know. To me, it seems like you'd be pretty comfortable either way around at this point.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I've if I have thought about doing face cam streams. It's not something that I would be uncomfortable with. I know there are VTubers that prefer not to show their face at all.
Yeah.
I would genuinely be fine with it. I basically already am, just an artist's interpretation of it. So it's not something I would outright say no to.
Yeah. This is really me right here. This is. Do you find yourself having to explain that to the audience? No, this is really what I look like.
Not really, no. A lot of people, most of them don't really question it.
Well, see, I was in the media, so I have to question everything. That's the way it works over here. And then I'm supposed to get really bad feedback from the audience, and then it goes from there. It's become so much easier now. if you're in the media, you just expect the hot pokers to come at you at this point. So for you, did it? You already had some folks who were in who were a VTuber or two when you got started. You already knew them. Have you collaborated with them or other people since you've gotten started?
Yes, I've collaborated with quite a lot of people since I've got started, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not a particularly social person, but I have somehow actually managed to do quite a job of VTuber networking, which really surprises me, actually.
The hidden talents come out when you you got into VTubing.
Apparently so.
Well, I mean, you're really engaging to talk with, and that's a great voice you've got for it. I mean, um,
Oh, thank you.
I mean, have you always been someone who projected so well with your voice?
I have always been told that I am quite loud, so I guess so.
Well, there's a little difference between loud and projecting. I mean,
Hmm.
you get some people who just shout all the time, and you basically want to turn them upside down into in a bin or something. They shout from down there. But for folks who are able to keep on a conversation from the other side of the room, that is pretty rare, actually. You get a lot more people who'd rather just mumble and not say anything, just blah, 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 blah,
Mm.
than be able to carry on a conversation. I remember when I worked with some local pro wrestler guys, um, and they could do everything in the ring just fine, but you give them a microphone and it sounded like they had marshmallows in their mouth. I mean, you're not going to get a good reaction from the audience when you're yelling, that sort of thing. So I ended up having to try to teach them how to speak to get everything
Mm.
going. Um, so that you kind of had sounds like you kind of had all the ingredients there to be pretty successful on the platform before you even got started.
Yeah, it certainly has been an interesting ride since I've started. I really don't have a reference for how quickly or slowly I have grown, but I feel like it's going well, so
Yeah, you didn't really have a goal when you got started.
not really, no. I just wanted to play games to people, and one of the things that I wanted to do was show off games I like that aren't really that known outside of smaller audiences. So the fact that I'm actually finally getting to do that and show these to people, that's kind of the main goal, I guess.
Huh. So what type of games are we talking about here? Do you have some titles off the top of your head?
So, yeah, the first game that I streamed, that disastrous first stream that I don't really talk about, it was the first game I played was East 10 Nordic, which is a, a JRPG by a relatively small dev company that it has a fan base in the West, but it's nothing huge, and the games sort of fly under the radar.
Mm.
And so that development company, especially, they are probably my favorite game developers. So I want to show off their games to as many people as I can.
Mm.
And so for months, I have been on Twitter and in various Discords promoting these games to every single person who will listen to me, and also streaming them.
So what catches these games to you? What's the thing that strings them together and makes them enjoyable, I should say.
So the stories and character writing, these devs are absolute masters of, and the gameplay is just incredible fun as well. The graphics are, I guess I should more say the art style really fits me. Graphically, they're not, until the most recent one, graphically, they've been sort of, I guess you would probably say double A quality,
Mm.
but the art style is always beautiful.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would think that usually, and I don't know, very much about game development, especially for non-corporate type things, but I would think that would be the thing that would suffer first is a bit with the art style and the graphics. But if you've got a good good base storyline and you've got good gameplay, folks are very much willing to look over that and enjoy the game for the most part, unless they're artists, in which case they're not really satisfied with anything anyway. So it's pretty tough to satisfy artists for the most part with a lot of these things. But the so were the graphics to the point where it wasn't just like acceptable, but they were fitting the game. They didn't throw you off completely with the graphics or anything like that.
No, not at all. It's not like they're not bad graphics at all. Like it's kind of just standard, I would say, and a lot of it's a really long running series from many years ago. The first game was actually for like the earliest PCs in this series, so you definitely see the age of some of the older ones, but like it's just they've always been sort of standard quality until you get to the most recent one. But even then, they still all look great in their own way.
Yeah. So when you did get that recent one and got a hold of it, and the graphic quality had bumped up, were you kind of shocked by it?
Honestly, yes.
Did it throw you off a little bit in the early gameplay?
It didn't really throw me off. I was just kind of in awe at a lot of it.
So, what is this RPG series about?
So it's all about the adventure. It's basically an adventurer called Adol Christin, and it's just the stories of his adventures throughout his world, the world of Ys. And you have so many different games in different settings throughout the series. Like there's the original one is set in sorry, I'm tripping over my words.
No worries. I do pratfalls on my words all the time. I'm just used to it. My face has become hardened over the years. As many times as I smack it on the floor with my words. So you follow this one character for the most part.
Yeah, and you just follow him on his adventures throughout the world, and each game, apart from the first one and the second one, which are direct sequels of one another, you can basically jump in anywhere in the series because the stories are basically all self-contained. You just have him in a new area, meeting new characters, apart from maybe one or two recurring characters, and it's just a completely new adventure every time. But you have things like the first game starts with his original adventure leaving his hometown for the first time. Then on another one, he's shipwrecked on an island with dinosaurs. And in the most recent one, he gets magically bound to a Viking and has to go through an entire adventure with her to save the area from a reincarnated god, basically. And that
happens to people every day. You know, you're getting bound to magical female Vikings like that, but it sounds like they're not short of any ideas anyway. They're willing to take the character and do different things with it. And in doing so, they haven't lost you in the process. So it must have a pretty good running thread through all of them.
I mean, honestly, there isn't really that much of a running thread per se. It is really all self-contained adventures in each game.
Yeah.
It's just always the constant is always just you are following Adol on his adventure. See what he gets up to this time.
What's next?
The sort of
wacky
the sort of framing device is each he's sort of narrating each game in his old age, and so each game is a chapter in the book of his life now that he's past his adventuring age.
Wow.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, have they ever written themselves into a corner with this stuff, or or do you expect them to keep putting out more chapters?
I fully expect we will see more at some point. I know that there isn't one at least planned at the moment, because I know actually one of the things they've done is they've pulled a persona on themselves, and so they are going to release an enhanced version of the latest game.
Okay. Now, with that, what are you expecting them to come up with? You said that the graphics were up in this one, but are they going to enhance it even more, or is the gameplay, or what?
So I don't know much about it. I know that it's going to be involved, like, this game was, you spent the game adventuring around like island, sort of an archipelago of loads of different islands, and each island has different things to do and all sorts of stuff. And so I think there's going to be a big new story section on a new island that they're making for this enhanced version. I don't really know much more than that. There aren't many details available that have come over to the West yet.
Okay, so it's not quite going to be the same. It's they've revamped it a little bit. Yeah, is it more of an addition rather than anything else?
I think so, yeah. It's going to. I don't know if you have much experience with the Persona games, but it's going to be sort of the Persona 4 Golden over the Persona 4 of, they will probably introduce new characters and this new story section, but the base game will be very similar.
Okay, yeah. Well, I hope that they continue. Well, first of all, they're successful with this, because it sounds like it's something that they're very attached to. But I hope they don't just keep redoing the same game over and over again. You get the Persona.
I don't think they will.
Yeah, they'll come up with the new stuff, but it sounds like by the time they're done with that, it's going to look pretty radically different than before. Are you ready for that as far as a change goes in the game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like well, I have no idea when it's going to come west. I know that it's going to be out in Japan, I think, relatively soon, but who knows how long it'll actually take to get localized. So, and by the time that happens, I will probably have played a whole load of other games and be ready to revisit it pretty much fresh. So,
would you call that series your comfort games?
I would say it's probably one of them. Yeah. If I were to pick a real comfort series, though, it would actually be the other main series by the same development company.
They need to be paying you. They need to be your sponsor. And go ahead. Now we're going to send this interview over to them. It's like, look, this person is really big, and they're championing you something fierce. You should be like at least sending them a T-shirt or something. Free stuff.
All right, so
yeah,
do we send it to the original developers or the English publishers? Is the question.
Both, and they don't need to know about each other. See, I was in one of the things that radio people did that was really they were really good at is free stuff. We didn't really care if it fit or whether we even liked the food. If it was free, it was ours, and we were going to take it because we never got paid anything. So we just go with that. So what are the other types of games that you play on stream, or other titles? You do play other games, other titles and other games, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah. So I consider myself sort of a variety streamer with a bit of an RPG focus kind of thing. Yeah. So I'm currently playing through Baldur's Gate 3 and Final Fantasy X. They're sort of the big story games that I've got in my rotation at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm also in and out of playing Hades, the roguelike from a few years ago. That's my first experience of a roguelike, and I'm having a real blast with it. I should really be playing it more, honestly, but it's sort of a hop in and out when I kind of am in the mood for it kind of game.
Yeah, those types of games are funny. You almost don't want to get near the end of those games. You just want to kind of keep playing and have something new pop up each time. It really does seem
Mm.
like a game that, well, first of all, it didn't take itself too seriously, which is nice, and it does take itself seriously just enough to at least be competitive with you as you play it. Have you found that to be the case?
Yes, I would say so. There have definitely been like very obviously there's the whole randomness of what you pick up in the run will have a big effect on it, but
Mm.
even if you end up getting a really broken build, the you can just hit a wall. Like I've been in my last stream of it, which was on Monday, I for the first time got to the boss of the third area, which is Theseus and the Minotaur. And
Oh,
also, I just want to say I love the all of the references to Greek mythology in that game, but that's
yeah,
a separate tangent.
yes.
But that was I actually managed, even with getting picking up a lot of good skills along the way and stuff that would be good for that fight specifically. That was just a wall that I haven't been able to break through yet.
So the things are not only random, but they work better against certain enemies than others.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, that would be so frustrating.
It can be frustrating in its own way, but it is a really fun challenge to try and overcome.
Yeah, it's like playing every game with a randomizer and but still having to face the things. Can you choose your quests? Can you go from one to another in that game, or is it going to be linear?
So it's a pretty it's linear-ish of
Uh,
you. The idea is always the same. You are the son of Hades trying to escape from the Greek underworld, and you
mhm,
will go through the different areas of the underworld in the same order each time,
mhm,
but the rooms that you go through on the way are randomly generated, and the monsters that you face until you get to the boss of each area are randomly generated each new run through you do.
mhm.
And so there's a lot of customization. There is quite a lot of customization and strengthening you can do in the sort of home base that you can take along with you.
Yeah,
But there's also a lot of randomness on the way.
kind of sounds a little bit like Diablo 1 and 2, where the
It is,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, some of the objects you pick up are a little different, and if you go through something a second time, the rooms have changed up, and the
Hmm.
monsters are slightly different. I mean, you still get the same kind of encounters, but they're different monsters. But it sounds like on a much bigger scale for this game.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Diablo 1 and 2, that is a nostalgic game I haven't played in a long time, but I
I
played that a lot as a kid.
oh yeah, I played it with the cheats. I played it with the cheat codes. Like I'm gonna try to get the best ring possible, and it's still not all that good, but I'll keep trying. And somehow I still could not in Diablo 2. I cannot win with the archer. I even
Really?
with the cheats, I'm like firing away and like nope, dead.
Dang.
And I just can't get, and I can't do anything with a necromancer. It just I just don't
Mm.
have the right style to do it. I guess I keep wanting to throw
Uh,
undead things at him, but after about 2 levels, that doesn't really work.
yeah.
No.
My favorite was always the druid. I liked turning into the werebear and just smacking everything around.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. But that I anybody who can win with the necromancer, you're very much a much better gamer than I, because I'm just like no, dead. I can't hit anything. They hit me and I die. I'm dead.
Hmm.
The so for you in the channel right now, have you got any big plans now that you're established?
So, there's a couple of things that I'm working on in sort of background. There's a couple of like follower goals that I'm trying to reach because I'm actually still fairly small overall. So I'm almost at hitting 150 followers on Twitch. So
Cool.
I'm sort of trying to figure out some sort of celebration for what to do when I hit that, which at the moment is looking like it might be some sort of horror game stream, which I have very little experience with, so that could be an interesting thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Is it going to be? Is it going to be one of those situations where they find out how well you scream?
Almost definitely, yes.
Yeah, me too. Actually, be how easy I pass out.
Mm.
Just quite the wimp when it comes to those types of games. I am. I just get out there. If anybody ever sees me play it, they know they're probably in for a medical shock.
Sounds like you should stream these games and get yourself an audience on it.
Oh no, believe me. I would consider that. I would enjoy myself. I'm not sure anybody else would. That would be the thing, and for me, it'd be everybody else enjoying themselves. I'm pretty stuck with this for right now because I get to enjoy other people's talents and don't have to worry about mine so much because all I'm doing is asking questions and holding a microphone for the most part. But to hear other people and what and everybody's got different stories of how they got in. Yours is as unique as anybody's I've talked to, and how they've developed since they've gotten into it. Would you think you've developed as a streamer since you started? You've developed more skills as you've gone along?
I think so.
Well,
I don't know. It's kind of hard to judge. Like I try to be introspective about things like that, but also I'm not very good at it.
That's pretty. That's being introspective about being introspective. You're you keep that up, you're just gonna a little black hole of introspective.
Better stop before I get sucked too far in. Then
you have an abyss there of introspection. But yeah, but I mean, you consider yourself now after being on for as long as you have, certainly experienced at least. Do things still surprise you when something goes not quite as planned?
Yes, I have had surprises and things that I have sort of tried to figure out live that haven't gone well. Like there was one stream a little while ago where I have like sound redeems set up on my Twitch where people can spend their channel points to just play little noises. And one of them is a jump scare. So people can try and jump scare me in the middle of stream. But for some reason, they could hear it in the stream, but I couldn't hear it on my end.
Yes.
So, and I spent some time trying to figure out what was going on, how to fix that. It didn't work in the stream, so that stream was just the redeems aren't working. I'll try to fix it later. I did eventually fix it and get them working again on my end, but it was especially on the technical side of things, I am still sort of lacking in knowledge is one thing that I can definitely say.
Well, that happens to everybody. But you didn't like intentionally sabotage the jump scare redeems.
No, I want people to try and jump scare me.
You didn't do that, on purpose or anything like that.
Of course not.
Not that I'm accusing you of doing it, but I certainly might have done that myself. But I'm just saying, no one could have blamed
They're there to try and keep people in. That's there to try and keep people engaged. I want people engaged with the stream. I wouldn't mess that up on purpose.
So when you have people, coming back and coming back because they come back for the personality of the person doing it, and you realize they're coming back for you, how does that strike you?
It feels a little bit odd, but it also feels good.
Yeah. and
Yeah.
you're not used to getting um, that type of feedback, that type of they're waiting for you, go on stage type of thing.
Not really, no. Like being all of my previous like stage experiences, I was always there as part of a group, and people were there to see either the school concert or the dramatic group play, and they were there for the whole company that was there. So it being just myself is very different, and that is one of the biggest changes that's kind of still I'm working on getting used to.
Yeah, when something like that kind of hits, you kind of get that kind of an out of body experience a little bit. Like, wait a
Hmm.
second, somebody on the other side of the planet is talking to me on purpose. They're here to watch me play this game and react to it. Um, that I'm sure that once you kind of realized what the focus was, did that change your outlook on streaming at all?
I, hmm.
I got him.
You got me. I don't think it really changed my outlook per se. It's like it's. I guess it did sort of give me an idea of sort of my attitude towards it,
Mm,
kind of, if that makes sense. Like
sure.
I was going into this with like some experience being in my friends' streams, but if I was still when I started, I was essentially doing it for the first time, and I really had no idea sort of how things would go, how what I was doing essentially,
Mm,
how what people like would come to see,
right.
and how to react to it. And so as I've done it more and got more used to it, I've sort of figured out my, I guess, style and attitude towards it.
Yeah. 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 Have you come to accept it and it exists as it has accepted you? Um,
I think so,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Sometimes every once in a while you kind of when you're doing any type of thing with a microphone and an audience, and I can tell people this, you sit back and realize that they're there because of I'm doing this. They can watch somebody play Minecraft on 75 different servers at the same time, but they come back because they enjoy the personality behind it. Um,
Hmm.
and you got to watch and make sure that doesn't change your hat size. But you also you sometimes it'll send people into a bit of a frenzy of like we talked about introspection to the point where what am I doing right? What am I doing right? Do more of that. Do more of that. You haven't found yourself doing that at all, have you?
Not really. I mean, I've definitely not let it get me a big head. I am still very. I have no like overestimations of how big or important I am at all. Like
Well,
at the end of the day, we're all just people behind a screen, and that's not going to change no matter how many people come to watch my stream.
only some of us have dragon wings and go around. But I tell you what, you got a really great attitude to this, and obviously, you're fun to talk with. I got a great voice for it, um, and I just hope you continue to have fun and continue to explore what you can do with this, because I kind of get a little bit of an idea that you're kind of figuring out as you go what you can do with this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe, yeah,
The entire I've been going. I'm coming up on 8 months now, and the entire 8 months has been just a learning experience,
yeah,
really.
yeah, yeah, and I kind of get the idea too that you've been pleasantly surprised as how it's gone, and I hope that continues for you because I can tell when you're talking that you how much you are enjoying the whole thing, um,
Eh,
and And people
Thank you very much.
Yeah, people need to come out and check and see what Cassius has got going on. We're going to have links in the description for the video. And please keep us in touch. Let us know what's going on, okay?
Will do. Thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you. It's been an absolute blast. Cassius, again, well, the description has all the links. And thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.